Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, September 19th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around and changing. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol OMEX. Crazy looking chart. And very impressive movement today as the price, did have a nice upward slope to it. So it does bring about the question of, okay, yeah, it's had an upward slope to it, but is there any sort of genuine power? Is there any sort of true strength behind this movement? And I have no idea, but by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, let me change this to green to represent support. It all revolves around this area right here at $1.08. Why is $1.08 important? And I'm not saying this will occur, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, what would you have at that moment in time? You would quite literally have the price having gone right back to where it was. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make nice moves up and then all of a sudden go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power. Whereas on the flip side of things, maybe the price comes down here because nothing can go straight up, but behaves like this and then starts to curl back upwards. Now all of a sudden, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have those lows down there. And if you envision those as stair-steps, well, now you have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction, and that's the name of the game. Nothing can go straight up, but you at least want to see quote-unquote signs of progress. And in this situation, the sign of progress is, again, at $1.08. In terms of levels of resistance, main battleground to watch moving forward, going to be that resistance trend line right there, so keep an eye on that for potential breakout. But all things considered, huge volume today, good volatility, but let's see if this is the start of a bigger move and see if the price at minimum can show some progress. Next one, WBUY. WBUY. So WBUY, and I don't think I've ever heard of this ticker symbol, but anyways, I definitely showed up on the scanners today as pretty crazy day. You can see at one point the price was all the way up here, and I think that some poor souls were buying right there. And then it pulled back. And the pullback is what makes this interesting because during the pullback, right around this area, it becomes very valid to say, is this the start of, is this a start of a total pump and dump? Is this a gap and trap? What's going on here? And we got the answer, and no, the price actually started to level out and go sideways. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price started to go sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed this is the bottom, and for sure guaranteed this thing is going to head back up. But is it a whole lot more plausible at this point? Absolutely. Case in point, let's say the price was still dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, well, based on what? The price is literally still just going down. But that's not the case here. The price has at least started to go sideways, which is what makes this level here very important at the 17-cent mark. Because as long as the price stays above 17 cents, that does imply the price is going sideways. And as long as it's going sideways, there's always a very real chance that the price could get a nice surge back to the upside. And on that note, in terms of areas of resistance, I think that trend line there matters quite a bit. But yeah, big move up, nasty move down. It is starting to go sideways. So is this the consolidation here before another return back up? We'll see what happens. Next one, LUNR, and I like this one a whole lot for this reason right here. As I draw this trend line, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that's a great skill or special talent. I think a ton of people have drawn that trend line, and I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So still no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid to think if the price comes up here and breaks up through there, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So if you like to play breakouts, keep an eye on that. And then just to finish up the pattern here, we have that level right there. And then just to make the overall pattern easier to see, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the explosive move right there. For you golfers, I'll try to make it more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So if you like stocks in this price range, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, VVOS. And what really stands out to me on this one is for you pullback players, because it has pulled back to a very interesting level, and that's right here around this $4 mark. And this is just based on foundational rules in charting, which state when levels of resistance. So right here earlier in the day, you can see this was essentially the top part of this pattern here, but then the price broke above it and up it went. But when levels of resistance are broken and close above, they tend to act as support. And so far so good. Looking here, you can see that the price has indeed been acting as support. So more than valid question moving forward, is this going to continue to hold as support? If you believe that it will, and you get a bounce from it, which is more than valid, then yeah, you could be looking at a very, very nice pullback play here. So yes, quite a bit of history around the $4 mark. This one has shown the ability to move and move quickly. So if you do like to play pullbacks and you still have faith in that $4 mark, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, NVDA, and overall, this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have talked or that have watched the past videos and heard me talk about it, but it still remains all about that pink line right there, that 200 period moving average. It's behaved as support several times before, and you can see right now as I speak, the price is down right around that area, acting as support. And then another area of support, let me get this trend line into play that I think is very, very interested headed, and maybe even more so than that 200 period moving average, is that trend line right there. Check out how many times the price now respected that trend line. So a couple different thoughts. Some people might be thinking, I think if the price comes down there, it'll bounce again. I totally see where they're coming from. Completely valid. Other people are saying, well, I think if the price breaks, that's going to open up the floodgates. I want puts or I want to get short. Those people totally see where they're coming from. But that's why risk management matters, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. But the common denominator here moving forward on NVIDIA, I think has everything to do with that trend line right there. So keep a very close eye on that trend line, and we'll see if the price can push up through it. And then just from the overarching resistance trend line, as of right now, got to think that a lot of people are watching that trend line right there. But given the price is so close to this lower trend line, let's see if the price can hold above it or not. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, PRTG, and yes, this is a very, very ugly looking chart, but you long-time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly, so no doubt about it. Crazy move up. Again, I think poor souls for buying here. I hope they're using stop losses. If not, they're not having a good day. But yes, at this point, it has gotten ugly, and I would say we still want it to get a little bit more ugly, because from a pullback standpoint, you have some very interesting moving averages, both that purple line 50 period moving average, pink line 200 period moving average. And as I've said, and we'll say probably a dozen more times, there are no guarantees. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price comes down around this area, could it level out and then get a little bit of a bounce? Absolutely. And even a little bit of a bounce could be all you need to make a very nice risk versus reward scenario. Because again, this is only for those of you that are going to honor risk and manage risk. But if you do manage risk and you have a minimal risk on the trade, then all it takes is a little bit of a bounce, and you could be looking at a very nice risk versus reward opportunity. So if you do like to play these situations where things are looking totally ugly, but you try to time those moments where maybe that's where things all of a sudden turn around when everybody gives up, then definitely keep an eye on this one, because no doubt about it, this one's pretty ugly. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean more to those of you that watched the previous one here, where I put into play that green line right there as the support trend line. And you can see, again, you can't make this stuff up, the power of charts. Look right where the price bounced a couple times from today, including the last 30 minutes, right off of that level. So like NVIDIA, got to think a lot of people are going to be watching that level and wondering the same types of things. Again, two schools of thought, both are valid. One school of thought thinking, well, I think it's going to bounce back off that level. It's happened many times before, and that is totally more than fair. Other people are more bearish, thinking, I think it's about to break down. If it does, I think that's going to open up the floodgates again. That is more than fair, but you got to manage that risk. So from a technical standpoint, you got to think most people are going to be very curious about that trend line right there. And then from a resistance standpoint, everything here that I talked about previously still does hold in terms of the areas of resistance. You still have 231.25, and then the 233.85 is the main battlegrounds. But like I said, like NVIDIA, I think most people, I'm not going to say don't care about these resistance levels, but I think most people are all going to be wondering what exactly happens at that trend line. So grab your popcorn and let's see what happens. Next one, APLT, and I'm going to go through this one very quickly because I will just say it right now, this is a bull pennant. You've already heard me talk about the bull pennant. You've heard me talk about those self-fulfilling prophecies and trend lines, and that's what I believe we have right here. You can see just a very well-defined area. And then just to finish out the pattern, let me change that to green. And then just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all one color. So we have resistance, we have support, We have the big upwards move. We have the golf hole down here. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you do like bull pennants, you have definitely a couple different choices to keep an eye on for tomorrow. Next one here, GRAB. Same general idea, although I do want to map out how this thing is very much so in a nice overall uptrend. And then just zoom in here a little bit more at the pattern that is formed today. So as far as key resistance levels, give or take right here around that $3.68 mark. Got to consider that a pretty stubborn level. The price has been up here multiple times. And it's not really a question of whether or not the price can break through it, because it can. It's more a question of, can the momentum sustain itself? And as of right now, the momentum cannot sustain itself, because the couple times where the price did get above it, the price quickly fell back down below it. And then in terms of areas of support, you have a nice trend line right there. And then once again, just from an overarching standpoint, we have our resistance, we have our support, have the nice upwards move here, golf hole down here. So another general bull pennant pattern. But yeah, no doubt about it, this one is in a very methodical uptrend right now, as you're seeing here. So we'll see if the price can continue to put in those higher highs and higher lows. Next, TQQQ, wild afternoon with the Fed announcement. But when all the dust is settled, and again, this will mean a little bit more to those that watched previous videos, the chart is still stuck in this sideways channel that I've been talking about. Sure, after the announcement, the price got up above that channel, but like it did previously, just because the price broke above it when it came to maintaining and building upon the momentum, failed miserably, because both times the price got above the $68 mark, the top part of the channel, back down below it went. But now as I speak, due to this last 30 minutes here, you can see this is now approaching the lower part of the channel pattern right down there at the $65 mark. So that'll be the main question mark, I think. Like Tesla, like NVDA, a lot of people are going to be wondering about, is the price going to hold at 65 or not? Now, if it doesn't, I want to get overly disappointed, because the price not that far away does have the 200 period moving average right there at the 64.15 mark. However, if the price were to break down both those levels, at that point, that would be a pretty big sign of strength on the bearish part. But as right now, the sideways channel is still fully in effect. Top of the channel resistance 68, bottom of the channel support at 65. So as I mentioned earlier, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool and how it can and should be used, then definitely get signed up for this free live class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, September 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So go get signed up and I'll see you there. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now using the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours instead of the 30 minutes, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and I don't want to risk causing, because I don't want the video to just be irrelevant right away. So I want to make this last for as long as possible. So by using the 4-hour time frame, it allows us to do that. And yeah, very, very crazy past 4 hours. You can see this candle here. Bitcoin was all the way up here, and now it's dropped all the way down there. So pretty wild, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust this level here as it's kind of become sloppy. And in my opinion, now there's a new key level to watch. So question number one, let's just assume you're watching this video, 20 hours after I upload it to YouTube. So 20 hours from now, you're watching this. Question number one becomes, where is the price relative to 61,365, which is that resistance right there? You can see 3 times now the price has tried to get up through that level and hasn't been able to do it. So in any way, shape, or form, if you're answering that question, so whenever you're watching this video, if you're answering the question that the price is up above that red line, that is a good thing. How good of a thing? Well, that's where common sense comes into play. If it's barely above it, that's still a good thing. That's a breakout. If the price is way up here above it, well, that's even an even better thing, because that's telling you that the breakout not only broke out, but gained that much more momentum. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, I'm watching this and the price is still down below that level, next immediate question is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that area right there at 57,500? If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, that's not a good thing. Things are looking pretty rough. How rough? Again, common sense. If the price is right down here, yeah, that's looking rough. If the price all of a sudden way down here, that's not good at all. Or if you're saying, well, Clay, actually, the price is down below this level, but still up above here, well, then at that point, you basically have some sort of consolidation with the price just chopping around. And that's not really a great thing, but it's certainly not a bad thing either, just consolidation. So ask yourself those questions, keep an eye on those levels, and that'll keep this relevant until I'm back to update it again. And as I invited the stock traders, I am inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free live class, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So go get signed up. It'll be Thursday, September 19th, so very soon at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see you there. So thanks for watching. As always, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and be sure to get signed up for this free live class. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.